biggest talk that I don't think people have, right? It revolves around, uh, I would say, success. When I'm probably uh, responsible for this self-limiting belief when I believe that having a lot, um, or having something that would make me um, um, have a specific dollar cap on my head would make me successful, right? I used to think, a big house would be my meaning of success. It would make me happy. I used to think wearing gold, right? Having all these watches, just having, all that quote unquote abundance at my disposal would be the lifestyle to kind of aspire to. But then, as I grew up, um, I started to study people a bit, and you know, the more I would be in tune with perhaps the books that I would read, um, or even the stories I would say I'd be informed of on podcasts related to people who pursued that lifestyle. It gave me a caution not to do it because it is some of these stories is it's lonely, right? Like here's the thing when it comes to finances, right? Like you are never going to be satisfied, and I think that's one thing people don't get, right? You're always going to be striving for a specific amount. Okay, if you get 100, you're going to want 200. If you want 300, you're going to want 400. Like we're just not satisfied people. We're not, we haven't been taught gratitude and appreciation. So it's because of that that when you're dealing with um, prioritizing a bill as your success, you got to understand that bill doesn't have emotions, it doesn't have feelings, and it is not limited to a specific amount. So you'll just find yourself just chasing. Um, I don't even know what you're chasing at that point because sometimes you just have to understand that like your life cannot be defined by that stuff. And I say that because people who have defined their lives living like that have been they've been hurt, right? They've been extremely crippled by their own gain because um, the main issue you'll find, it's not necessarily having access to that opportunity. It's more or less um, feeling like everything, you're entitled to everything and everyone. And it gives you a sense of power because, economically, that's the type of world we live in. But realistically, it can get cold, right? Like you lose family, you lose friends, you'll lose a lot for that opportunity, right? Trust me, I've seen people sell their own families out to receive a check. I've seen people sell their own communities, right? Um, it's it is that really how you want to live? Because I'm telling you, like if you have to live with that ideal, that regret, that you had something good, but you believed you deserved something better. Like you just having life alone, okay? Especially if you live in the Western world, like you got access to clean water, you have access to stable health, you have a roof over your head with stable electricity, and you're still not, that's still not enough. I don't know. Like I told you, like if you think finances are gonna fix your situation, when there are children in less developed countries who have less than you, who don't even have access to clean water, but you can still see them singing on the streets, right? And committing to healthier relationships. It just tells me straight up there that there is no way you can jump into um, um, income and expect that to more or less fill that empty void, right? Because realistically, if you have a roof over your head and you have access to clean water, like you are in a very, that right there makes you statistically um more wealthier than literally more than three-quarters of the world. And I say that because three-quarters of the world don't even have that privilege. And here we are, I would say, particularly within these developed countries, access to internet, access to libraries, and we still find reasons to hurt each other, right? Like, and to start meaningless conversations about I'm better than you because my title says so, or my boss pays me more, right? you, you'll find that when you're in that kind of living situation, you really can't expect anybody to come and save you, right? Your income won't save you because like I told you, there's no emotion there, right? You're making paper, right? It's a good utility to have. It's nice to be able to have a nice car. I'm not saying that. I'm sure that's a luxury, but I'm telling you that, like, when your basis, when your life comes from being over fixated on making that your focal points, um, it's gonna lead you through a concerning path. And sometimes people are unaware of this, but they'll still go around uh, attacking others, right? Scrutinizing others, because deep down inside, the wealth didn't solve their problem, right? And everything, as far as I'm concerned, it really just is about your perspective and your motive. A lot of people want to look like they have something to please other people. So when you run across somebody who has something that you don't have, and you let jealousy get in the way, and you know you become concerned. When you become concerned about somebody else's living condition, whether that's your influencer or whoever posts on the internet, you've lost. Like, the game of life, that's game over. The video game's over, right? Like, I'm not even playing. You may as well just admit it. You're out of the game, because your attempts to try and belittle that person, um, you're gonna be exposed. And sadly, like, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna be the one to call these people out, right? All I'm gonna do is raise the warning to people who are willing to listen. But somewhere along the line, you're gonna be dragging this behavior, and you're not gonna be able to get out of it. And you really will watch yourself deteriorate from trying to more or less please other people, and trying to figure out a sense of direction, which you thought the wealth could lead you through. But in reality, it's like, I think life is far more important than that, right? Sometimes it's about living for other people beyond uh, capital gain, right? Like, sometimes you really have to see yourself as um, um, we're all on the situation where we all have to, we all have to cover some sort of expense. Okay, we're all trying to figure something out. And because these people have or should I say, some of them, not all of them, there are a lot of people who genuinely weaponize the fact that they have that they are better than you because of this basis. And you will find that the extent they go through to prove that to you will show you evidently that they cannot live without their finances. And I'm telling you that right now. You take these people and you place them in developed parts of the world, or third world countries, as they would call them. They would not be able to live a day. You take away their phones from them, you downsize their home, you give them a generous vehicle rather than having them go around flexing on the entire neighborhood, right? No, like, I can't stand the fact that people live like this, right? You see, there are people who have wealth, who are born into generations of wealth, and they generously distribute it amongst families and so on. Some of them even set up organizations, charities, and medical systems. That right there, I think I can respect. Okay, but then you have people who genuinely use and weaponize the idea that they have wealth to try and gain leverage on other people. It's a dark lifestyle you lead yourself through, right? And sadly, when you make other people subject to that lifestyle, it's listen, I don't even feel bad for the other people. I feel bad for that individual who actually has to resort to um, trying to demean other people because deep down inside they need that to fill an empty void that's within their self. That's a horrible life. That's a terrible life. And I don't know how many times I can say that and people will still be in denial. What a horrible way to live. Like that's you're gonna be remembered by that, right? Okay. So let me just break the truth to you, just in case you thought otherwise, just in case you were a little bit too daft. Okay, you will not live forever with your wealth, and when you realize that, you literally dedicated your entire life towards misery. Um, I'm not one to judge what you do with your life, like, and especially how somebody um, uh, more or less spends, right? That's completely on them, and I actually respect people who are able to, enjoy a luxurious lifestyle. My thing is, I would prefer if you would enjoy it rather than trying to harm people in the process, because um, more often than not, these people become very self-indulgent, and when the wealth cannot solve their problems, they resort to trying to make other people solve their problems. They make other people subject to their fear and to their twisted idea that perhaps everybody should be miserable like them because they pursued something that was inanimate. Okay, and when you have people out here who are helping their communities, right, who are trying to put food on their families' plates, and then you have other people who are genuinely living for the purpose of trying to look like they have something. Um, yeah, that's the dark, uh, that's the dark, classic way that you'll find a lot of people become very upset, and this is the only. There aren't many people who can see it. I'm just telling you what I've known based off of um, I would just say observation, right? You find these people are very closed off, right? Like they don't become, they're not really open, they're not available to the world. They've barricaded themselves. They've become very isolated from the world. They are unaware of the circumstances of other communities, and I think it is because of their ignorance that they perhaps seek further exploitation at concerning levels, and this becomes problematic, I would say. So your only resort at that point is to understand the truth behind these people and the way they live, and to just leave them. And I mean it. Just like it's not something you want to try and solve, right? Let people solve their own problems, right? That's got nothing to do with you. That's got nothing to do with you at all. And when you realize that, I think eventually you'll learn to grow. You'll learn to adapt, and hopefully through that lesson, you will eventually just become a little more complacent with your situation and your circumstances, and you know that, like, listen, you got access to uh, groceries, to education, right, to clean water. You may feel like you're entitled to this. You're not. There are many people who don't have that, and you can, if you can find gratitude in that, I can tell you, you will live a very good life. But there are people out there who genuinely do live in concerning levels of misery, right? And you got to understand the depths of the misery. It's shallow, or should I say it's deep. It is extremely deep, and if you don't do something before things get too out of concern, um, If you do not vacate that situation, uh, life will. Uh, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel how deeply in pain these people are, and I mean it. It will get concerning. So just try and understand that at the end of the day, your life is your life, right? Like whatever you make, I'm not responsible for that. Whatever you spend, cool. Do what you want. I'm not controlling anybody. I'm just kind of trying to make you aware what will happen when you um, try and use the facts that you have economic leverage as an opportunity to harm somebody. Okay, um, it won't be good. It will hurt. It will, and I mean it. Like your modern day ideal about what you've seen on media and what you've seen throughout the world. It's I don't think anybody's led us into a good path. I think it's been very lonely. It's been very miserable. Okay, and you will find that it's bad. Okay, so just be focused. Okay, be realistic. Okay, and just understand that when you're in a situation and your life cannot like further progress, and when you use um, income as an opportunity to more or less try and make that progression happen, and you, because you are insecure and you're using that, you want everybody else who doesn't use that to feel insecure, and everybody else who genuinely is pursuing meaning, right, helping their families, helping their communities, and you still resort to that ancient way of hating people because of and you end up using excuses to hate the person. Oh, look, that person's black, I don't like him. But you don't even know the person. You have no idea who that person is, right? Right? You're just making excuses to feel the failure that happened within you. So it's like, recognize yourself at that point. Recognize the advantage you have when you don't actually have to concern yourself. That's got nothing to do with you. That's got nothing to do with you, because as long as you know you're a well-meaning person, I guarantee you will outlast these people. Okay, because they are not meant. They're not living well. Okay, and again, I'm not saying everybody who pursues wealth is like this, right? Because some people do render their hard-earned work to community, to infrastructure, right, to family, and so on. But sadly, you will find considerable amounts of people who have prioritized life over, or should I say, wealth over life.